So we all hear the saying work-life balance. Work-life balance this, work-life balance that. You see it in books, you hear it in videos, you see it on TV. It's like we can't get enough of this work-life balance. But what is it? And how can we have more of it? See, before technology and email, the boundaries between work and home life were very clear, right? But these days, it's not uncommon to get emails after business hours, which most people can't ignore. So, how can we take control of our lives outside of work and balance the scale? Well, to be honest, I think you can go one of two ways. See, when I was streaming on Twitch, I'd come home and stream, but I didn't see streaming as work. I was just playing video games with my friends for people live on Twitch. Like, that wasn't work to me.
Hold that.
Oh my
Hey,
god!
Audacity! Audacity!
This guy fucking going.
Give me that. Give it.
Might have to
That's
clip
not.
that.
No, sure. I'm dead. I'm dead. Shit. Dead again.
Can I
Shit.
get a clip, please?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Shit.
Like,
Fuck.
can I get a clip, please? As I was saying, clip that, boy. When I do something, I can't.
So, I think if you're coming home to work on a side project or a dream project or whatever it is, then that's fine because that's not really work. I think the problem arises when you're coming home from work and you're still taking calls, you're still answering emails while your kids want to, go play outside or whatever it is, and you're neglecting them. See, the number one cause of stress is money, which you get from your job, which creates the work-life imbalance. Then you start losing time with your relatives and your kids. Then you start regretting those things. Then you're on your deathbed and all you can think of is spending all that time working and missing your kids growing up. And then you die and then that's the end of the story. And then you see where this goes and how it gets out of control very quick. So again, how can we take control of our lives outside of work and balance the scale? Well, I think the first thing is that you have to have some limits. Like, set a cutoff time, whatever time you choose, to say, okay, you know what, I'm not looking at my work phone or my email anymore because that is now your time. Obviously, this is gonna be different from job to job. You obviously can't be, like a doctor or something, or like an on-call doctor and be like, oh, I'm not looking at my phone anymore because, what if you have to go to work and stuff like that. But, just do it within reason, right? Speaking of cutoff times, have a day where you do nothing. Or, I guess I should say nothing pertaining to work. It can be Saturday, it can be Sunday, it can be any day that works for you. You could even make it, a day in the week where, say, on Wednesday evenings, you're gonna do the laundry or whatever else you've been putting off, like making yourself a nice dinner and relaxing with a good show on Netflix. You can also make this the day where, you go work on your hobbies, you go out with your friends, or in the state that the world is in right now, virtually go out with them. Also, speaking of limits, have a dedicated space for where you work and for, where you sleep and stuff like that. Make sure that you give yourself enough time to finish things, but don't put too many things on your plate. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. I've found that if I write down 5 to 6 things that I want to get done for that day, then that's good for me, but obviously everybody will be different. Don't write down 12 things to do, because then when it starts getting later in the day, you'll put extra stress onto yourself to get the rest of the things done at the risk of not doing them properly or taking up more time than you allotted for them, because then you're back to the work-life imbalance. Having a cutoff time is one of the most important ones. Learn to say no to things that aren't your responsibility. Many employers will ask you to stay late or come in early or come in on the weekend. And, if you say no, then they'll try to guilt trip you into doing so. If you need the extra money and you don't have anything planned, then it's not bad to do so. But if you have something planned, like a day out with your kids or something like that, or if you just don't feel like going, just learn to say that you can't. When you stop saying yes to overtime or extra work or extra assignments or whatever it is, you're giving yourself more time to accomplish activities that are meaningful to you. One other thing you can do is ask your employer if you can have flexible hours or a compressed work week or something along those lines. Like, I've read this story where someone wanted to work less hours, but they were scared to ask, and the people on Reddit convinced them to ask, and they ended up getting Friday as a half day at work. Don't be scared to ask your employer to accommodate to your needs, or is it accommodate your needs? Something like that. Because let's be honest, like they demand a lot out of you already. They can't just take and take and take and not give anything to you in return. But there is one more thing that I want you to remember. I also want you to remember that in today's society, there's this whole emphasis on hustling and working 60 hours a week and this and that. And you know, to be honest, like I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it. See, Gary Vee, I would say he probably works like 60 hours a week. And he always says that he doesn't expect his employees to work as hard as he does because they don't have the same stake in the company that he does. Like if you don't own your own business or if you don't have stake in the company that you're working at, then you don't have to work as hard as other people there. I know a lot of people are scared to say it, but let this be the permission for you, right? Like if you don't want to work as hard as somebody else and they think that you should, show them this video. I'm telling them that now. See, the thing about life is that it's about choices. Some people want to work 60 hours, some people want to work 30. Some people want to be billionaires, some people just want to live simply. Like life is about choices. Just because one of your coworkers is working 60 hours a week does not mean that you have to also. Like, I don't understand why everybody is in such a hurry. I have to hurry up to be successful. I have to hurry up to do this. I have to hurry up to do that. Like, let's say for example that you wanted to be a millionaire, right? Just arbitrary goal. Like, why are you hurrying up to be a millionaire? Because then what happens when you get to that million? Then you're gonna say, oh, I got a million, I gotta get 10 million. Oh, I got 10 million, I gotta get 50 million. And then you're just running in a hamster wheel and you're not doing any better than the people in the rat race because you're a rat too. Like I swear I say this in like almost every video, but it's like we see our peers doing something and we get this feeling of inadequacy or we feel the pressure to keep up. It's so easy to wrap up your self-worth in the amount of followers you have or the color of the check on your profile, but I mean, that doesn't make you any more successful than the person that's sitting next to you. Like I was talking to my girl about this the other day, and I told her that I want to look back on my videos in 10 years and be like, wow, look at that shot we got, look at that drone shot we got, or look at the things I was talking about, look how few bags I had under my eyes, look how few wrinkles I had. Like, everybody is in such a hurry, I feel like sometimes, that we forget the most simple things, like giving your pet a good scratch, or going on a walk, or just sitting there and doing nothing. One thing that I do think will happen after this pandemic, if that ever happens, is normalizing people working from home. Like I remember a couple years ago, if you worked from home, you were either very lucky or people thought you were like a weirdo or something like that. But now it's basically normal. See, the one good thing about COVID is that it showed that it's possible to have people work from home because most things can be accomplished over Zoom or Skype or MSN or AOL. But one other thing is that I think it's also easy to start working more to make up for the commute time because people might lose track because they're no longer commuting anymore. I don't think that made any sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is, let's say that you had a 2-hour commute to and from home, but now you're working 10 hours because you're no longer commuting. So I want you to be mindful of that. Serve your 8 hours or how many hours that you have to serve and be done with it until the next day. No job is worth any type of physical or mental health of any kind. Always remember that. So that's it. If you're looking to have your life a little more evenly distributed on the work-life balance scale, then I hope this video helped you and I hope it brought you some value. And as always, thanks for watching.